Senator for Nandi County.
Finally, Chair, Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the following questions. One to the IG and DCI. CCTV, we need to do the CCTV of Central Police Station. They are said has been tampered with. We need accountability from 9 p.m. Saturday, 7th June 2025 to 8 June 2025, 4 a.m. Sunday. And yet in the records of OB, your current book, it says Albert was booked at 3:45 a.m., 2:35 a.m., and he was dead by 3:45, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, to the CS, you flew to Nandi a few weeks ago when Father Albert Alois Cherargei was killed. You told the family you know the killers. People have been ill in Angata Baragoi. People have been killed, Father Maina. Mr. Speaker, when you read Article 245 and 240, the Ministry of Interior suffers from leadership crisis. And it is good the nation has seen the incompetence of CS Murkomen on this matter. And if anybody has to resign, we must start with the Cabinet Minister Murkomen, Mr. Speaker, because that is where the buck stops with, Mr. Speaker. And I want to tell you, Murkomen we have today is different. Abraham Lincoln say, if you want to know the true test of a man, give him power and money. If all of us can withstand adversity, Mr. Speaker, and the CS must tell this nation, because I heard he has a wrong assertion that he's barely in office 6 months. Does he need 10,000 years to make change in this country, Mr. Speaker? Finally, he has not presented any policy on police brutality as per Article 245 and 240, Mr. Speaker. I think it is a high time that the President must do a reshuffle, take the Cabinet Minister of Interior back to sports, because he like lettering Muchezo in the business that we are discussing about this country, Mr. Speaker. And we will not sit and allow this to happen, Mr. Speaker. Everybody must be held to accountable, Mr. Speaker, and there is no law. Mr. Speaker, is PS, and I want to find out from him, is PS Omolo, when Ongondowere was killed, he used to give blow-by-blow information. What is happening to Albert Ojwang? What is happening to Father Alois Cherargei? What is happening to Angata Baragoi who was killed, Mr. Speaker? He must be held accountable. If he doesn't want to be held accountable, let him take a walk, Mr. Speaker. So my questions are to the CS and the question to IG and DCI, Mr. Speaker, so that we, and being a guest of most of these cells, I have slept in them, Mr. Speaker. And I don't fear to sleep in it in future, because I know how to maneuver myself. The only danger is I might be killed. But what I want to find out from these police cells that we're having, is it have CCTV cameras in most of these, Mr. Speaker? Are they introducing CCTV cameras to all police cells across the country? Or is there a slow modus operandi that shows that you can be arrested in Nandi, the way I was driven for 4 hours, and that day I never got even a soda?
Senator Hamida.
Asante Bwana Spika. Waswahili wanasema mkuki kwa nguruwe, kwa mwanadamu uchungu. Watoto sio Albert peke yake, lakini watoto wengine pia wa watu wamefariki. Huu ni mwezi wa akili, wanaita mental health. Nashindwa kama wazazi wa Albert wamezungumziwa. Wazazi wa Albert, kama serikali imeweza kuwafikia kweli, kuwasemesha na kujua kuwa kuwapatia imani na watoto wao. Ya kwanza ni kuuliza kwa IPOA, mumeweza kuchukua statement kutoka kwa IG Langat? Yeye ameshaandikisha statement, na mpaka sasa mbona hatujapata kitu chochote kile kimeshikanisha na mtu yoyote? Na Mheshimiwa Were kweli alifariki, lakini na siku mbili tulipata wanaitwa nani, washukiwa wakuu, lakini leo mpaka saizi ya Albert bado hajapatikana. Nashindwa. Na ya pili ni kuwa Albert alipewa nafasi ya kukutana na wakili wake, hata kuzungumziwa, manake yeye alikuwa na nafasi ya kupewa nafasi na wakili, awe na wakili wake. Alipewa nafasi ya kukutana na mtu yoyote. Albert ameshikwa siku moja, na hiyo siku kila kitu kikaendelea. Akafa, akagongwa hiyo siku, na akafa hiyo siku. Na imethibitishwa kuwa kutoka kwa IPOA kuwa Albert hakujinyonga, Albert hakujiua, Albert aliuliwa. hii damu ya Albert na hii machozi ya wazazi wa Albert itadhulumu kila mtu yule alipatikana na hiyo mambo. Na leo tusifiche, leo tuweke mambo paruwanja kwa mtoto yule amefariki. Leo ni Albert wa mtu mwingine na kesho ni wenyu. Kwa hivyo tunaomba haya mambo yawe wazi. Kwa hivyo tunataka kujua statement ya IG Langat imeandikwa ama haijaandikwa, na kwa nini imechukua nafasi hii na time hii yote mpaka sasa hatujapewa kitu chochote, yani wazi kuwa ameshikwa ama ameambiwa chochote. Tunaomba kingine tena ni kuwa wazazi wa Albert wafikiwe kwa leo, wazungumziwe na waambiwe kinaga ubaga ni nini. Babake Albert analia, nasema huyo mtoto ni mkono mmoja tu, ni jicho moja tu. Kwa hivyo leo mutamcompensate nini wazazi wa Albert? Langu ni hilo tu.
Senator Mundigi.
Asante Bwana Spika. Swali langu naomba kujibiwa. Wakati Albert aliletwe kutoka kwa ile county na kuletwa Nairobi kwa station, na tunajua kila station iko na askari, na kila dakika kidogo kama lisali moja kuna kuja watu wengine wanakuwa pale, kwa hiyo station haivungangwi. Wale askari walikuwa wanalinda hiyo station walikuwa wapi? Ya pili, katika Kenya ING, wakati ulikuja hapa tulikupitisha na tukajua utarainisha upande wa ulinzi, kila sub county ulikuta watu wa guidance and counseling wangapi? Kwa sababu tunajua askari wengine wako na pressure, ni kama ni watu kama sisi, wengine ni watu wa kunywa pombe, na wale watu wanaenda kushika kule masinani ni watu ambaye warochavu. Tunataka kujua ulikuta watu wa guidance and counseling wangapi, na pia umeongezea wangapi? Ya mwisho, katika Kenya tuko na ING moja na deputy ING. Kwa sababu najua Speaker aulisangu swali, hiyo swali nataka Senate nijibu. Wakati watu walikuwa na kuitwa hapa wakuja hapa, ule mwenyewe deputy ING aliwaswa wapi ndio atuelezee ni nini ilikuwa inaendelea, kwa sababu yende ikawa sio ING avai kujibu ile maswali iko hapa yote.
Senator Richard Onyonka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to say, number one, this is a sad event. The young man was not transported from Mutembei on any other day. The family said he was picked on the 6th, and on the 7th he died. There's a letter that I want the IG to look at that you give as a press conference, where you said that the gentleman was actually picked and he did not go to Central Police directly. He was kept at the DCI offices. The letter exists, you can refer to it. The DCI denied that the gentleman was not taken to their offices. My honest observation is this: our country has got issues. Right now we can try and sanitize where we are. These events they are sequential. If many of you in this house can remember, there was a lady called Njeri, a blogger. She was picked up. If people had not made noise about her, she would most probably be dead. Gentlemen who did the BBC documentary were arrested. Up to now, we don't know whether their case is in court or not. Then this young man dies. And of course, many of you have talked about Ongondowere's case, which is now a good case of the government getting involved. We have lost so many Gen Z. You remember the dam where these kids were being dumped? Yeah, I hear many people talk about Yala. Forget about that. Let's bring an inquest, an inquiry to this house to investigate whether it is from Yala all the way up to every single person who was killed. These children have never been compensated. These children have never been talked to. Their families are treated like rubbish, and we are very comfortable. I know after this thing is held here today, everybody's going to go home and it's going to be business as usual. I wish you all the best. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Morango.
Asante sana Mr. Speaker. Unajua kutangulia chanoni kuzindi tonge. Kwa hivyo walionitangulia wameuliza maswali mengi muhimu. Kwa hivyo sina mengi ya kuuliza. Mr. Speaker, swali langu litaenda kwa IPOA. Niwaulize katika uchunguzi wao mahali wamefikisha hadi sasa, mshukiwa Albert Ojwang mmepata kama alikuwa peke yake katika ile seli aliwekwa ama walikuwa na wenzake? Hilo ndilo swali langu la kwanza. Na la pili ni kwamba katika kanuni za kushughulikia wafungwa ambayo tumepewa leo na IG, linasema kwamba mshukiwa anafaa kuwa na uhakiki wa kiafya kwamba ako katika afya nzuri kabla hajawekwa katika seli. Ningependa kuuliza IG kama kuna stakabadhi zozote ambazo zinaonyesha kwamba vipimo vilifanywa na Albert kuonekana alikuwa sawa kabla kuingizwa katika seli. Swali hilo lingine, IG na ameomba msamaha kwa sababu alipotosha nchi na kwa kusema kwamba Albert alinijigonga kichwa katika ukuta. Ni kama kwamba omba hakuna ukuta, aliupata na rombi. Swali langu ni kama IG alipotoshwa na kundanganywa ndio akatoa taarifa, na wale maafisa ambao walimpatia hiyo taarifa ndio wataenda mbele ya IPOA, tungetaka kujua wameokokea kanisa gani kwamba akienda kwa IPOA atasema ukweli. Asante sana Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kamau.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to join my colleagues in conveying my sincere message of condolences to the family of the late Ojwang. Honorable Speaker, I also want to know from the National Police Service Commission which reforms are they prepared to put in place to restore the confidence to Kenyans that police stations or police cells can be the centers of reform rather than sites of terror. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Mandago.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, from the onset, let me say that indeed it was a very, very sad incident to lose a life in a police station. Honorable Speaker, I have only about 2 questions to the IG. On the matter of the CCTV, Honorable Speaker, we would like to know where is the control center of that CCTV. Is it at the Central Police Station? Is it at Vigilance House? Is it at the Regional Police Commander's office? Where is the control of the CCTV to the extent that it was switched off before that incident? Honorable Speaker, finally, let me also say that as a Senate and as a House, Honorable Speaker, I don't think in this session we were inviting the team here so that we can gather evidence, pass a judgment, and sentence those who seem or we think they are accused. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to say this. There have been calls of resignations for the DIG for stepping aside, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, when it is being said by senators who have also been once arrested, and since they were arrested, Honorable Speaker, and they were asked not to contest, they would say, we are innocent until we are proven guilty. Honorable Speaker, how then do we expect the DIG, whose the investigation are still ongoing, he has not been taken to a court of law, and all of a sudden we have a chorus that, Honorable Speaker, they should resign. Honorable Speaker, I also want to ask the IG whether the investigations and IPOA are also being extended, especially to those political groupings, Honorable Speaker, who have been saying, you are playing with fire. There will be Arab Springs. Honorable Speaker, what makes us think that they are not behind this process to actualize the Arab Spring they are perceiving and trying to conceive in their minds, Honorable Speaker? There is need to widen the investigation so that probably those opportunists who would want to use such incidents, as Honorable Speaker, to pursue a political agenda they must also be cut to size, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, finally, let me say that it is not also proper, Honorable Speaker, when we use the floor of the House, Honorable Speaker, to also make sweeping accusations because of the privileges we have as a House on the officers, even on the officers or the team that has appeared here, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker,
Senator Chute.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to refer you to our Constitution, Article 26, 1 and 2. 1 says very clearly, every person has the right to life. 2 says that the life of a person begins at conception. Article 29, every person has the right to freedom and security of the person, which includes the right not to be, on D, subject to torture in any manner, whether physical or psychological. Honorable Speaker, last week we lost 4 people in Loyangalani. 2 of them are between 19 and 20, and 2 others are between 35 and 75. A police officer, OCS, was injured in that fracas. OCS Marua is in Nairobi West Hospital, currently hospitalized with a gunshot wound on his 2 legs, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I really condole the friends and family of Albert Ojwang. Honorable Speaker, I have a very good question. This is a very simple question. Safaricom, how are they involved in this matter of identifying people? When you are even in a toilet, a police officer will get to you. Can we ask Safaricom to come before this House and tell us what is going on? Number 2, this is a question to DCI. There is of course, long before apprehending suspect, they normally have a request for that person to appear before a police officer. Why do you go all the way to Homa Bay to arrest an individual for just a minor case? Why don't you ask him to come and report to the nearest police station? Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Karungo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And just to feel a bit safe, I think the Sergeant at Arms should be close to me, owing to the fact the gentleman behind me ordered my arrest a few months ago. Mr. Speaker, the question is not what Ojwang did. The question is, why did they kill Ojwang? Mr. Speaker, we have told that he was brought to Nairobi because the crime was committed in Nairobi. Is social media Nairobi, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, why was Ojwang grilled at the comfort of the DIG office at Vigilance House rather than Kiambu Road DCI headquarters where they do all these kind of investigations? We were told here by the IG himself he was taken to Vigilance House. Mr. Speaker, who ordered the arrest? Because I think that one has not been put clearly here, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and just to advise the Senator of Garissa, before he lectures again, it took the death of the firstborn of Pharaoh for Pharaoh to let the Israelites go. It has taken the death of Ojwang for us to confide together and say we have to fight this to the end. He's a martyr, Mr. Speaker. And so we must say as a Senate, no one else should die. Mr. Speaker, no one else. And if anybody dies at the hands of the police or anybody else, Mr. Speaker, don't bury them, Mr. Speaker. The family should not bury them. We should be going to every police station, Mr. Speaker, to tell them that you killed this man, we need justice. Even Ojwang should not be buried, Mr. Speaker. He shouldn't be buried until we get justice, Mr. Speaker. My question to CS Murkomen: who is killing us? Who is killing Kenyans? Who is killing the youth? If you do not have that answer, Bona CS, because 4 years ago on the floor of this house, you said, let us not sacrifice Kenya. We are not going to sacrifice Kenya, but we must sacrifice someone who is in line from the DCI, IG, the DIG, even the CS. So propose to us who should step down on this issue. At least justice to be done and also to be seen to be done, Mr. Speaker. And as I rest my case, the officers who arrested Mr. Ojwang, Mr. Speaker, all the way from Homa Bay, it seems they were an okay officer. They were fine. They were giving him the phone, talk to your family, talk to your friend. They even a clip that is online. So it seems those officers were doing their work. We need to find out, after he arrived in Nairobi, Mr. Speaker, who did what.
Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to associate myself fully with the statements done by Senator Fokariza. Honorable Speaker, those of us from North Drift, we have suffered for so long, and I wish the media could have helped us and highlighted the way we are doing this, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have three questions. Question number one to the DCI. How is Chief Inspector Talam a main suspect, as you have alleged, and you have told us Talam was not in the police station during this particular period when Kajwang was brought to Central Police Station? Secondly, Honorable Speaker, I want to find out from the IG. I don't know if there is harmony in the senior rank of National Police Service, from the IG all the way, because I'm suspecting they could have used this opportunity that was a complaint raised by DIG Langat to settle some scores, because we know in the next 1 or 2 years there's going to be succession in the National Police Service. Third, Honorable Speaker, is to CS Murkomen. You have heard from my colleagues here that cybercrime is not really a very serious crime. There is an opportunity for you to have a policy where those who are suspected to have done cybercrime to be invited to go to police stations instead of being looked for. Because I expected the DCI to have used the same resources they did and went to Homa Bay to look for those who killed Father Lois. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Essie Okenyuri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First, I wish to say that the issue of Ojwang is a very emotive issue because, Mr. Speaker, we have spoken about every other thing, but no one is speaking about the young lady wife who's been left behind, the young child. Cabinet Secretary CS Murkomen, I would wish that out of empathy we commit to assisting the young lady and child who's been left behind. Mr. Speaker, I also wish to find out an explanation on the time difference, because on an ordinary day when I leave Kisii for Nairobi, it's less than 4 hours, I'll be in Nairobi. I would wish to have an explanation from the IG on the time difference between the time Ojwang was picked and his arrival at the Central Police Station. To the DCI, what criteria did you use to conclude that the OCS is the prime suspect? Because even for the members of the public who viewed the body at the city mortuary, the body does not actually appear fresh, meaning there was quite some time. It's either allegedly the officers at the Central Police were under duress to admit a half-dead person, because the time duration by arrival at Central Police and the time Ojwang was taken to Mbagathi, it was less than 1 hour Ojwang was declared dead, Mr. Speaker. So I do not wish to ask further questions, Mr. Speaker, But the death of young people like Ojwang, young people like Duke Nyabaro in Kisii, who was found hanging and nothing really happened after that, I hope you are not just going to be emotional and this gathers dust, Mr. Speaker. We need to find why Ojwang, a young man from a peasant family, had to undergo this when they come to the city to try and make a living for themselves, Mr. Speaker. May his soul rest in eternal peace, and so sorry for the family and the people of Homa Bay. Thank you.
Senator Mariam.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first of all, we are only listening to one side of the story, Mr. Speaker. So I urge the committee first to listen to the Albert family and to hear more from them, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my question is about cybercrime. Mr. Speaker, cybercrime in Kenya is increasing. So how the DCI, why is it so important for this one to be so crucial up to someone, a young man, lost his life, Mr. Speaker? Does it mean the person who is papers issued by Albert is holding a big office? That's why he lost his life, Mr. Speaker. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, IPOA listed 5 members of DCI who arrested Albert from Homa Bay, Mr. Speaker. But when it comes to the first prime suspect, why is it not them? Because when the Albert was admitted to central police stations, the OCPD refused to admit because of his health sector, because they said we cannot admit him until maybe you have to take him to the hospital, Mr. Speaker. Then does it mean that 5 members of police of CIDs for DCI must be the first suspect to be interdicted, Mr. Speaker? Secondly, Mr. Speaker, when IG interdicted the police, Mr. Speaker, why are they not arrested and not put in jail so that the investigation will go on? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mbugua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Very quick clarification. First, from the IG, I would want to know the name of the officer and the designation of the officer who found the late Albert Ojwang in the state he was in the cell for him to be taken to the hospital. And secondly, still to the IG, I would want to tell this House the cell number and the holding capacity of the cell the late Albert Ojwang was in. And finally, I would want you to assure this House and the country at large that junior officers who be involved in who be called to be as witnesses in this matter will not be discriminated, and they will be safe. Thank you, Speaker.
Senator Karen Nyamu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I know the IG of Police has apologized today for the initial statement, but that initial statement, Mr. Speaker, is tantamount to a cover-up. And we are curious to know on whose behalf was he doing that cover-up. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, when it is a VIP who is subject to investigations, it takes a very short time to have people charged in court. How many police officers were on duty in Central Police that night? Mr. Speaker, I have been held in Central Police cell myself. And so I know at night there's not so many police on duty. How come we don't have all of them taking plea? Where haven't they been charged to date? Because you cannot tell, such a crime cannot be committed in the ignorance of anyone in that cell. Everyone is what do you call it? Everyone is involved one way or another. Another thing, this complacency by the police is giving this government a very bad name. We have a tag on this government as a blood-based government. How many people have been charged with the death of the multiple Gen Zs who have died under this administration? It is not the work of the government to charge. It is the work of the police. Are you also involved in sabotage, sabotaging our government? We want to know. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Asige, I'll give you your minute that you lost when you are doing your asking question.
Speaker, for acknowledging that I had lost a minute. The clerk's table, for some reason, has given every other senator 3 minutes, as you had instructed, but myself, when I stood, I only got 2 minutes, and that is on record, and I'm thankful for the extra minute. Speaker, what I was trying to say as I was concluding is that the IG spoke about a primary report having been the reason why he said the cause of death was suicide by Albert Ojwang. And I wanted to understand who was the person who gave him that primary report, because that might at least shed some light on whether that person, that officer who gave him the false report, is involved in the cover-up and obstructing of justice. And secondly, I wanted to know if this particular investigation is hinged upon one tweet, one post by the complainant. Where is this post? Because none of us have seen it. Can the DCI table that post so that we can analyze its veracity and its authenticity and make sure that it's not AI generated or tampered with in any other way? Thank you.
Now, honorable senators, I will now allow the witnesses led by the CS to respond to the many questions that you've raised. However, before I allow the CS to take to the stand, Senator Karungo Wathangwa, while asking a question, indicated that the IG had said that the young man was interrogated at Vigilant House. I have asked the clerk at the table to confirm from the Hansard whether that is true, and he has indicated to me that that is not true. You may now proceed, CS.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me start by thanking my colleagues, the senators, for really raising very weighty issues that I have, as I already said, some we have been able to note, some we will get it from the Hansard, and those which are concerning policy issues, Mr. Speaker, will do the proper follow-up. I also would like to say on the floor of this House that considering the number of cases that IPOA is being requested to investigate, Mr. Speaker, from a policy perspective, it's important as a country that we give IPOA more support in terms of resources and ability to hire more investigators so that these cases are heard and resolved expeditiously, because people are asking this question, Mr. Speaker, how come the one for Honorable Were was handled within a week or so on a shorter time, and how come this one is not moving at the same speed? Mr. Speaker, it must be understood that this is IPOA investigating police. On the other incident, it was the police themselves investigating a crime, and therefore the capacity, whereas there are not enough resources on the DCI side, we believe that DCI has a greater capacity than the IPOA itself. Therefore, IPOA requires some level of support so that this can move expeditiously. The question Kenyans are asking is that, are we treating this case different from those that are affecting persons who are prominent, like a member of parliament and so? And I was saying, Mr. Speaker, it must be seen from the context that for the questions of investigation in Barakoi, for example, Angata Barakoi, Mr. Speaker, for example, and the case of this one for Albert, all of them are by IPOA, which has a smaller establishment than the DCI, and therefore the process gets slower. If it was the efficiency and the capacity that the DCI has, it would have moved a little bit faster. Mr. Speaker, very few questions have been raised, but in-depth Senator Muma has asked policy review. I already gave my undertaking already in the House earlier that when I came to office, I have instructed the team in my office to look not just at the law, but also the judicial decisions, including Justice Ogola's decision, Mr. Speaker, to see how we can mainstream them and improve the service standing orders or work on different regulations or establish a new legislation that can be able to fill the gaps. This is not an exercise that is confined only to the ministry, but also we can work together with the relevant committee of this House. Mr. Speaker, on the Commission of Inquiry and Inquest, I think those are very genuine legal, constitutional parameters that can be used, or instruments actually, that can be used to get to the truth. Where there is doubt that the truth can be found, these mechanisms can be utilized. However, Mr. Speaker, in the situation that we are, I think it's too early, considering that it was only 2 days ago, to pass judgment that IPOA is unable to do these investigations. But should the investigations not bear any fruit, Mr. Speaker, those are instruments that can be considered by this House as ways of investigation. Mr. Speaker, on the curriculum, we have the curriculum. We have the curriculum, and as Senator Muma, having myself trained before on rights-based approach to development, I know what you mean by saying, talking about human rights approach to service delivery. The instruments are there, but the ability to disseminate it, to catch up with the older population that are already been trained, and also the ability for the National Police Service to have continuous training is constrained by resources and facilities. In fact, we might have this discussion another time. You know that all over the country, wherever you go, and for those who have been with me in the Jukwaa la Usalama, you realize that the National Police Service has many issues that needs to be dealt with. A police station, even for a police station to have a CCTV, is just by luck, because some of them don't have OB, some of them don't have furniture, they don't even have a computer. We have shortage of vehicles. We have all many other challenges that this administration realized. That is why there was a police reform committee that was put in place to see how best are we going to enhance. And that's why we're doing procurement now for vehicles. We're trying to do digitalization and digitization, so that if you had the DCI properly, it told you that part of the occurrence book is reported digitally, and that's evidence that cannot easily be erased, not like a book or a paper within the police station. So there's a lot of work that we want to do on digitization and digitalization of the police service. But the challenge we still have is to work on the resource constraint that we have. So police officers are asking for basics: a police station with a cell, a police station with a vehicle. At the moment, OCS is sharing a vehicle with OCPD and so forth. And all this we are working on as a ministry, and this is an area that I put a greater emphasis to see that the police officers are resourced to do their work. Again, on the issue of Senator Beatrice Ogola, I am very clear, Senator Beatrice, I am very clear in my mind. I saw the father of the late Albert Ojwang, and like any other parent, I felt the pain of that parent. And the only possible gift we can give them in the time that they have lost their loved one, and it's even more painful when it's the only child, Mr. Speaker, is to promise them that we will do everything we can and to ensure that justice is done, and to ensure that those who perpetrated this heinous act are put behind bars, Mr. Speaker, so that they can suffer the pain of having inflicted this grievous bodily harm, which eventually resulted in death of Albert Ojwang. Mr. Speaker, that is the little we can give. Of course, Mr. Speaker, as I said earlier, we are obligated as leaders and also citizens, and also within this leadership of this ministry, to support their family, like Senator Veronica Maynard asked earlier, so that we, in a small way, we can be able to facilitate and help them to find ways of comforting themselves. But I tell you, Mr. Speaker, there is nothing actually that can compensate the loss of a child. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I stand with them, and I will do everything as a cabinet secretary to ensure that those who committed this